What's up? What's up, everybody? I know. My bad. Let's start this off right. What's going on, everybody? RJD here, and we are back as always. Welcome to Rashonology. Hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, Rashonology on YouTube. All right, so last week took a bit of a week off, but we back at it, baby. So we are back at it, straight pushing, bringing you all the news. Now, a lot of people are up in arms about this. So there's been some. Now, the Tory Lanes case is over, currently serving 10 years. 10 years for shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. He has been judged by 12 of his peers, and he has been convicted of that crime. Now, some new evidence has come out and has come to light that he didn't do it, or did he? So let's see what the new evidence is, and let's talk about this. Let's see what's going on here.
Bradley James. Long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People.
So he spoke to Unite the People, not under any NDAs, no restrictions on having a conversation. And this is when he decides to have the conversation. Let's continue.
And that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do.
His conscience? We're going to talk about his conscience in a little minute.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about this. All right, so bodyguard comes forward basically saying, hey, 2 women were fighting, and the gun went off, the gun dropped, fired 2 more times. Let's start there. Let's start at the beginning. This guy comes forward. Tory Lanes has been convicted. Where the hell was this guy a month ago? When this trial was going on and he got convicted. What was that, a year or 2 ago? Where was he? Where were you? We couldn't find you. I don't know. I didn't want to come forward. Like, I understand. Where were you at that point in time? That's number 1. Number 2, 2 women were fighting. A lot of people were saying Tory Lanes didn't have any gun residue on his hands. Now, I don't know if you know about guns, and I'm not the gun aficionado, but if you allegedly had shot a gun, there would be gun residue on your hands. That's just physics, I guess. I don't know. So a lot of people were saying at that time, why did Kelsey get immunity? That's really weird. You only get immunity because you did something and you don't want to go to jail for it. But if you cooperate, then they will not prosecute you to the full extent of the law. So could it be that maybe Megan and Kelsey were having fights, had a fight, and they were arguing, and it got real crazy real quick, and they were arguing. Somebody pulled out a gun, and also the forensics, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, if you get shot in the foot, or if you get shot off a ricochet, or if you get shot and the bullet bounces off and then gets you, it's gonna look, all three of those scenarios are gonna look three different ways when it enters your skin, when they take pictures, when they look at the wound, how it's shaped up and everything like that. So, like I said, I'm not the DNA guy. I'm not the guy who analyzes foot injuries and gunshot wounds. But I think even the forensic guys were saying there's no way she got shot directly. And then they had this chick dance, and allegedly somebody shot. They said Tory shot at the floor and was saying dance chick dance and all of this other nonsense. It all sounded fishy. And at the end of the day, it might be too little too late. Now, I don't know how this goes. I'm not the law guy. I don't know if they can go back into this case and reopen it or appeal during appeal. I don't know how it goes. So I guess the law people in the comments, please let me know, because I'm not sure. But what I do know is that even me looking at it with just my rational brain back then, I was like, this looks stupid. This sounds stupid. This doesn't make sense. Why would he shoot at the floor and shoot her? And then he was doing a lot of talking. Like, the first thing they advise you to do, your lawyer would tell you, shut the hell up. Don't say nothing. Don't do no interviews. Don't do anything. And maybe that was to his detriment, because in the court of public opinion, he just kept talking because I guess in his heart, he's like, I know I didn't shoot the damn girl. Kelsey did. But if Kelsey and Megan, if Kelsey and Megan Thee Stallion came and everybody said, this is what we're going to do, we're going to pin it on him, and he's the only sucker looking like, or maybe he doesn't want to say who did it for whatever reason, because he was there. Everybody know who did it. They all know who did it. Because they was all there. So my thing is, why would someone need immunity? And the DNA on the gun, like when they tested people's hands, the DNA on the gun was inconclusive. So obviously inconclusive means it could have been anybody, but why do you need immunity for something you didn't do? Forget everything else. Why do you need immunity for something you didn't do? That sounds stupid. And then craziness is, right when this comes out, Tory gets stabbed in jail. That's crazy. So we're not going to do that. So I don't know if I don't know if I can play this, because they might flag me. But is it going to
feel mentally messed up?
No. I want the actual report.
Tory Lanes update his condition after he was stabbed in prison, and they claim they have new evidence in his case that could set him free. You're watching Eyewitness News at 11:30. We're live on ABC 7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. I'm Philip Palmer.
And I'm Colleen Sullivan. Rapper Tory Lanes recovering after being stabbed 14 times in prison. Today, his legal team provided an update on his condition, but they also talked about what they say is new evidence in the case that landed him behind bars.
Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes is live in the newsroom. And
do you not find it funny that when this new evidence comes out, that he gets stabbed 14 times the same day? I think it was the same day or the next day. You don't find that eerily suspicious? There's nothing weird about that at all.
has details. Rob.
Yeah, stabbed on Monday. Today, Tory Lanes is in fair condition. His legal team taking advantage of the media's interest in the attack to make a new case for his release, saying a new witness has stepped up who can clear Lanes in that shooting case. Now, Lanes is currently serving a 10-year prison sentence in Tehachapi after shooting Megan Thee Stallion back in the feet back in 2020. Now, Lanes was jumped on Monday. His representatives say he was stabbed 14 times, causing both his lungs to collapse, though he is now breathing on his own. Prison officials say his attacker was Sam.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yikes. So this is the guy, allegedly, who stabbed Tory 14 times. Someone stabs you 14 times, they are trying to get you out of there. They are trying to delete you. This is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They wanted you gone. but it's very funny. It's very interesting how right when all this new evidence comes out and somebody starts talking, 14 times he gets stabbed the next day. Very, very interesting.
Antino Casio, a man serving a life sentence for murder who also has a history of prison time violence. The motive for the attack
Who's serving a life sentence, nothing to lose.
is unknown. Today, the legal team for the Canadian rapper held a news conference in downtown LA saying Lanes was railroaded by then DA George Gascon, who had just survived a recall election. And they say a bodyguard for Megan Thee Stallion has come forward saying he heard her say that she fired the weapon, not Lanes.
Mr. James informed United People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence,
now that's the only thing too. 2 more times, knocked it down and the gun fired 2 more times, maybe 1 more time, but 2 more times. That to me is kind of weird too. I don't know. I don't know about that one, but okay, let's continue.
Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun.
Now, Lanes and his legal team are asking Governor Gavin Newsom to take a look at this new information and issue a full pardon. Meanwhile, Megan Thee Stallion sought and was granted a restraining order against Lanes, saying he's been harassing her by paying bloggers to spread misinformation about her. Reporting live in the newsroom, Rob Hayes.
Nah, I think bloggers are doing that all on their own. I think bloggers are doing that on their own. Now, who knows? When it gets to this PR stuff and what narrative is what and how it gets spun, there's a whole thing behind this. So we're not going to sit up here and say like that's not possible. But people weren't really feeling her back then. But it's very hard for somebody to get on the stand and say, this person shot me, and then that person doesn't get convicted. Because the guys or girl is saying, you shot them. This person shot me. I was there. They were there. That person did it. How is a jury going to look and say, well, how do I doubt? Like, how could you doubt that? It's very difficult. So he had the chip stacked against him. This is all a terrible situation. Terrible for everybody involved. The only one who got out scot-free. Now, if he did not do this and he went down for something he didn't do, and these other 2 chicks out here running around free, Megan getting millions and millions of dollars at the Democratic convention, twerking, making black people look bad and all that. If that happened, then that sucks. That's an L. That sucks. No one should go down for something they didn't do. No one. But that's a crazy situation. It's rough. Everybody involved, I'm sure they wish if they could do that night over, everybody involved would do that night over. But this is just troubling, man. Very troubling. And right when this new evidence comes out, exact moment when somebody says, you know what, let's go stab Tory. So that was a hit for sure, allegedly. But craziness, man, pure craziness. So that's all I got. We will continue to monitor the situation as always. I will catch y'all on the next one. On my way out, hit the like button and take a look at this short video. Hit the QR code and let's get you up to date. I'm out.